Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com, and today I'm in Bluewell. I just turned on to Route 52 from the Montcalm area where I was on Route 71 or Lorton Lick Road. There will be a couple cuts in this video because I stop at Tudor's Biscuit World for a second, and then I'm cutting out a portion of this video because I go into Woodlawn and make a separate video. But I wanted to give you some information that I found about Bluewell, and it's a lot of information. So this video will probably continue on through brushwork and maybe on into Bluefield as I continue reading some of the history that I found in a 1980s book, a Mercer County history book. Of course, some of the names that I mentioned in this book, since it was written in 1980, they were alive at the point of this being written. So they're definitely most likely dead by this point, but I wanted to make you aware of it since I will be reading it word for word, so it will sound like they're still alive. Okay, if you travel north on Route 52 from Bluefield toward the Bramwell and McDowell County coalfields during the mid-1800s, you had to pass through a town of Delp. It was called that because of a prominent family man named Ephraim Delp who gave the land and built the first log school in the area. He lived to the age of 103. He had a son named Gus, who lived to the age of 106, and a daughter named Lucy, who married James Saul, a stonemason. One of their 6 children, Garland Saul, is the oldest living pioneer still in the Bluewell area. As of July 12, 1983, he was 85 years old. Andrew Merle married another daughter of Gus Delp, and Luther Merle, Andrew's nephew at the time, was a general merchandise store owner. At about that same time, families of Noah Phillips, Vincent and Kelly Faulkner, Wayne Hawley, Hugh Belcher, Sam Davis, and Luther Ayers were in the area. Luther was a farmer and dairyman and owned land which he had purchased for the present fire station. He died at the age of 92. In the early 1900s, people began to speak of Delp as Poe Town, perhaps because of the number of descendants of Hezekiah and Tom Poe families. Hezekiah went by the nickname of Kai. They were brothers and both married Belcher girls. Kai Poe had 3 sons, Bart Kern and James Ballard. They called Bal. Bal Poe and his wife Ida Hambrick Poe had 16 children, all of whom were still living. He was a merchant and donated the land for a community church building. Other pioneers were John and Ben Broyles, the Sanders and Dawson's family, and the Joseph E. Gullion family. 2 Gullion girls, Lula and Beulah, were the first Bluewell residents to graduate from Beaver High School in 1926. So, in 1926, C.W. Jackson was the principal of Beaver High. Anyway, the Gullions came here in 1906, purchasing the Wayne Hawley house when he went west. Most of those early settlers were farmers. It is believed that the oldest home in the area is the Surway home, originally built by Tom Poe. Reese Lusk was the first general merchandise store owner in the area. He operated a little store beside the Zamberlin house. Bal Poe built and operated the next one near the first church building, for which he gave the land. Luther Merle had purchased it from Poe, the Poe store, and then he sold it to Crockett Poe, and then Leslie and Lula Gillian Dalton bought it from him in 1928. At this time is where O.W. Tolbert dug an artisan well on land where the Canode House now stands. A reporter from the Bluefield Daily Telegraph called Old Timer Calloway came by and remarked that the well was squirting water. He then suggested that the Daltons name their store Bluewell Grocery because of the closeness of the well. This they did, and the name of Bluewell is, well, it's what the town is now known as. Anyway, the store stood in that location until 1982 and then was moved to a location on Route 20 then. Now, this next little section is back to the school. The first school, the Delp School, was a log building in what was known Butt Holla. On the left-hand side of the road towards Nemours, there were a few pupils. Luther Ayers stated that it was the first school in the area that he attended when Mary Roller was a teacher. He later helped to tear it down when the Delp School located when the Delp School located where the Bluewell Pentecostal Church stands now was constructed. It was named for Ephraim Delp. It was a frame building which housed grades 1 through 8. A memory book was presented to the pupils by the teacher G.M. Shute in 1911 and was given to Lula Dalton and Howard Poe, which contained information. Names of 47 pupils were listed, and the numbers at this time, 7 were still living. Now, this was in the 1980s. So now, the third school, a 2-room white frame building where the playground of the present school is located, was first used around 1918 to 1919. The present brick building was built for the late 1930s. A third addition to the school was made in 1954, and that's when W.R. Cook was superintendent of Mercer County Schools. The last addition was made in 1981. Chester Sword was principal of the school, which now has an enrollment of 302 students. So that was in the early 80s. So there's you a little bit of information about Bluewell, and actually tells you how Bluewell got its name. You can tell I'm already still on Route 52, but I'm crossing the bridge and I'm in Bluefield. So that's long enough for this video. This is Angie from Tourangie.com. Come to my website, read my blogs, make appointments so I can help you plan your next travel adventure, even a road trip. Talk to you later.